Hi there, YouTube and vinyl community. I got interested in a kind of a thread that was started by Bostonianreggie, aka Mike, and I've been watching several videos in the subject, among others Robert Z, and I got very interested in the subject of typographical album art. Uh, I have been working a little bit with different kind of typographical styles in computers. I learned a little bit when I went to a school to become a journalist, and I've been working with doing informations and so on to do the different organizations, and there I've been using different typographical styles, and I like experimental with the different kinds of typographical things. So it was a very interesting subject, and I have picked together a couple of records that I think is very interesting when it comes to the subject. I want to say right now also that not every of these albums are my favorite typographical styles, but I still think they're interesting to show as an example. Some of them are interesting because you wonder how actually they were thinking, but still they're interesting. So let's start it off with an album that I actually forgot to show when I showed my records from Stockholm in my previous video. I bought this actually Stockholm also, but I put it in another place in the room, so I forgot it. I bought this one also, The Temptations, and this is a cover that I really like. The album title is A Song for You, released on Motown in 1975. But I actually like this cover. This is formed like some kind of a bag. We can close. With a little luck, you can close it like this. You can close it, and you can. But if you take a look at the style at the letters, they are cutting out the letters, and the gray backside is the backside of the letters, and some form. I actually like this album cover. I think it is pretty cool. Very odd in some kind of a fashion. The next one is also 70s, but it is a very classic album cover that I think almost everyone has seen. I have no idea what some others has been showing. So if I have shown this before, please forgive me, but still it's a interesting cover. I think actually this is a good style actually. This is Dr. Hook a little bit more. You can see that they made some kind of a iron hooks of the O's in Dr. Hook, and they have, it's pretty cool in some way actually. There is some style actually that I don't know what to say about it, because it's depends on what kind of what you use, what kind of a typographical style you use, but normally it looks not all that good, and that is when you mix two different typographical styles that has actually nothing to do with each other. They're so far away from each other, and I really like the album art of the Alarms records, and I think when it comes to the album cover itself, it is actually no, I have no problem with it. But this album Strength from 1985, you can see that I've been mixing fat letters with a little smaller, more stellar typographical style, and I'm not sure that I think this is beautiful, but it's interesting, especially how they have managed to do the alarm word. It's pretty interesting with a lot of little blood in the background, so it's interesting album cover. Maybe not the best, but interesting. Since this is a video about album art and not the music itself, I think it's okay to show some Swedish records. This is Swedish blues group Sky High and their album Humanizer from 1987. It's pretty cool. Really, really interesting style. Speed it up a bit so it won't be so that long. More Swedish records. This is Swedish group Lolita Pop and their album Fem Söker en Skatt, 5 Searching for a Treasure from 1982. Here is a classic that I think most every one of you have seen, but still I think it's pretty interesting. Normally I'm not that fond of album covers that there are no real pictures on that, it's just a name. I think that this album cover I previously showed with Lolita Pop is pretty boring actually, but the album, the letters actually is pretty cool, and I'm the kind of guy who normally wants an album cover with some pictures on and more art of it in it then. But there are some big exceptions, like R.E.M's Out of Time from 1991. This is really, really good typographical style and album cover. Here is also an interesting thing. This is ABC from 85, I think. Yeah, how to be a zillionaire. Managed to do the album art typographical style like would be some kind of a television game in the 80s. Here's also a classic that most of you have seen, but I still think this is great typographical style. I like this one very much. This is a album for the musical Phantom of the Opera. I actually like this shattered glass style with some blue in it. I really like this album art actually. I think it's a good musical and it's a good cover. Here is I'm not sure how I'm going to if I like this or not. It's an interesting example, but I'm not sure that if it had been in another color maybe, but this is Rufus and Chaka Khan with Camouflage. And I managed to do the Rufus name in camouflage. You can't. You have to put it in under light to see it, but it's also rising up the letters so you can feel the name Rufus. I understand the idea, but I'm not sure that I think it's beautiful since it's gray. On the other hand, here is a soul record that I really like, this typographical style. This is Jackson from 1980 with Triumph. I think this is really, really great style. Kane Gang, British New Wave group with Miracle from 1987. Very, very good. Letters in some kind of a gold or bronze. Here is a very, very nice art, really, really nice typographical style. This is Soft Cell with the album Non-Erotic Cabaret from 1981, containing Tainted Love, of course. Here you see it is written in some kind of a neon light. I really think this is a nice typographical style. I really think it's I don't know, so typical 80s in some form, but still very beautiful. I tried to find some examples from the jazz side, but the problem is that most jazz albums I have is albums with pretty boring typographical style and picture of the band leader. A few exceptions though. This is an album I showed in a vinyl update in May. This is a collection of Swing in Sweden examples of Swedish swing orchestras. Nostalgotech is the name of the album, and I think this is really a good art cover. I really think that this typographical style of the title is really interesting. This is also very interesting. This is Sub Sims and Sonny Stitt interaction. 1950s, 65 is recorded. This so typical 60s in some form. This little hypnotical picture, and they managed to do the interaction name in the same color as the background almost. I think this is really great album art for 60s record, that is. Here's also an album cover that I feel like, I don't know if I think is good or not. This is Human League and their album Hysteria from 1984. You have to turn out the entire sleeve to see it. Written in different kind of colors and huge letters. Little low budget, I think it looks like, but still it's very interesting. So, and Madonna, the Immaculate Collection. This album cover is so, I think, I don't know if Adam Lee agrees with me, but it's so un-Madonna stylish, actually. Normally Madonna likes to show her picture in some form, and that's the record, but here is just some kind of a logo type style of the album title. I think it's kind of beautiful, though. I think it's pretty good, interesting album cover, just because it's so different from what we used to see Madonna in. But it's like the style of the letters. Smithereens with their album 11 from 1989, like really the style of their album title 11, in some kind of a red, and the band members is in the letters, in the figures. So I actually think this is a very cool album cover. And finally, something that also looks very cool. This is Big Country, The Crossing from 1986, containing In a Big Country. Really interesting. I think it's beautiful with it's so different with the silver letters at the blue background. No doubt about it that album covers on vinyl is a very interesting subject. I remember very strongly a radio producer who, in a show in 1994, when the CD was had very high value here in Sweden, and they hardly none except me bought LPs. Was an album radio producer who said that it was something special with the album covers of vinyl, like a big picture you can take home and study and just be feeling proud about, instead of this plastic little things that you buy with CD that is just you don't know what to do with it. And he finished it off by saying that it was better before. And in 94, and still that was the worst word you could say in the media. But he dared to say it because he loved the art of the vinyl. And I think that is a good way to finish off this video. And I hope that you have been enjoying it, Mike, and everybody else. And until next time, have a very nice continuing of the week, and so long.